I have the pleasure of introducing really a exciting thing that I discovered in the last 6 months. In fact, every once in a while, really cool things come along. Cody and I both obviously have PhDs in kinesiology, and we've studied a lot of different things. And I said, Cody, have you ever heard of this? And why have we never heard of this? It's a really cool concept. Made a lot of sense to me right away, but I was like, I've never seen this. I've never studied it. Never was taught this in exercise physiology, and I thought we needed to show it to you. So I'm going to bring up here Dr. Jeffery Bleich, and he's going to show you Counterpace, and he's going to do it in 9 minutes. So please give him your full attention.
Well, thank you, Dan, and thank you, Cody and Celia for putting on such a great show, and thank you to Dina Medina out in the audience for introducing us to this wonderful organization. We're really delighted to be a part of this community. What I'm going to tell you about today is something that we have been working on and researching for 10 years, but we believe that human evolution has been working on it for hundreds of thousands of years, if not longer. All of us have probably been there, right? If you're out there, you're exercising, you're trying to keep a pace, you're working hard. Let's say you're running, you're biking, you're swimming, maybe hiking up a steep incline, and then all at once, it gets easier. You get into this rhythm that feels magical. You feel like you could go forever. You're not even working very hard. The breathing gets easy. Well, what if you could get there every time you exercised? That's what we're working on, because we have discovered that the physiology behind this is that there's an extraordinarily efficient place to exercise. And that this efficient place to do aerobic exercise is not just a little bit easier, but it's actually much better for you. And it's the health benefits that have gotten us tremendously excited about it. Well, you can get there. You just need a little bit of a nudge, and we're going to show you how you can do this for your clients, and really help them to get more out of their exercise experience. The insight comes from a technology called Counterpulsation. I apologize, the slide looks like it transferred incorrectly, but what the words say at the bottom there is, a well-timed second pump improves blood flow and arterial health. Well, there are several types of medical counterpulsation, and what they do is they basically drive blood towards the heart with this giant pump in between contractions. So it's timed to the ECG. So the heart pumps into an empty system, a system that has just been emptied. In this case, it's emptied by squeezing the legs, the extremities, the torso, and then the second pump, pumps blood into the heart, both on the venous side, filling the heart, but on the arterial side, perfusing the heart muscle. The only time that heart muscle can be perfused, when it's relaxing. So it's a second pump, perfectly timed to the heart. Not only does it make a patient with crushing chest pain feel better because the heart is now pumping against less pressure and getting better blood flow, but if you do this every day for long periods of time, what happens is all of that blood flow to the heart, to the coronaries, starts to lead to collateral formation or angiogenesis, as Mark Middleton talked about this morning in his wonderful talk. Angiogenesis is collaterals. This makes the heart more aerobic. It also stabilizes plaque. It does all kinds of wonderful things, this tremendous blood flow through the coronaries. Well, it turns out arterial trees are really important in a lot of different areas. The brain, as we saw this morning, the retina. This technology, this simple non-invasive technology, leads to new blood vessel formation throughout the body and things that help not just heart disease, but cognition, dementias, retinal injury like with macular degeneration. Well, we don't need 900 pounds of technology that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars and needs a cardiologist to be present when it's being used, and one-on-one nursing care, and an hour a day for months on end. And the truth is, it's very hard to get this technology, external counterpulsation, to patients because it's so expensive and so cumbersome. But we carry a pump with us, a second pump. And that second pump is the musculoskeletal system. And the musculoskeletal system, while the heart drives blood to the periphery, the musculoskeletal system drives blood towards the central circulation. And if we simply ambulate, for example, any rhythmic activity, if we step between heartbeats, if we step as our heart is relaxing, we drive blood to the heart right when it's most receptive, which will lead towards all of these wonderful benefits. And as a matter of fact, these are the most common things that humans do for exercise. So, and the treadmill is the third most common way people exercise, is actually a phenomenal place to learn this technology, to use it as well. And we do it very simply with a sensor that senses the heart rhythm and the musculoskeletal rhythm, and an app. And so I'm actually going to show you this technology. I've got it on an iPad, but it fits on a phone, and you don't even need to look at it. You really just need to listen. You can see that my heart rate is actually very high. I don't know if you can see from way back there. But you can use it on the elliptical. You could use it on the treadmill, outdoors, anything where there's a rhythmic activity. And you simply hit start, and it's going to give you guidance. Now, it's got my heart rate, but when I start moving, it's going to show you your step rate. And my step rate's going to be a lot higher than my heart rate if I'm...
Heart rate is lower than your step rate.
But
Raise your heart rate to begin guidance.
What happens, though, is I can bring my step rate down to the heart rate, or I can raise my heart rate up to my step rate.
Stay focused.
All I need to do is stay focused. I don't know if you can hear it. If I stay focused, now I'm in the zone. I'm in between beats, and things get easier. If you prefer music, we'll provide it, or we'll take your favorite music and stretch it and make it work for you. And we will pitch correct everything, so it's just a...
Activity completed. Nice work.
Thank you.
You achieved 16 seconds of sync time.
So we've been researching that. What have we been doing for 10 years? We've been researching the heck out of this. And this is our publication last year in Medicine and Science and Sports and Exercise, which many of you are familiar with. It was with Dr. Chapman's lab. I want to tell you, we started with elite athletes, and because making them more efficient is going to change their career, right? If this athlete who happens to not be good at stepping in sync, this particular athlete, did step in sync, he's going to increase his times dramatically, or lower his times dramatically. But what we found is there's somebody that cares even more about heart health and brain health than elite athletes, and that is the active aging community. And we've been so impressed with the reception we've gotten from the active aging community that we have decided that that is where 100% of our focus is going to be. So this is kind of our first step, is coming to this conference and working with Dina and really understanding how incredibly rewarding it is to work with these folks. So that's where we are, and our goal is to bring these benefits to this community. I wanted to show you a little bit of data that's super compelling, and this is blood pressure. So you guys know this is a study of 12 people. This is running. You see the same thing walking and elliptical. What happens is this particular person is running slightly different from the heart rate. So what happens is the two pumps go back and forth between fighting each other and then being in sync, and then fighting each other and then being in sync, because the rhythms are slightly different. When the two pumps are fighting each other, you've got tremendous pressure, right? Because you're on the arterial side, your legs are pumping towards the heart's pumping towards the legs. Lots of pressure, no flow. When the two are in sync, your heart's pumping into an empty system, your legs are pumping into an empty heart. Much, much better pressure. You can see the systolic pressure on the right is really low, which means the heart's not working hard, but the perfusion pressure is higher, the diastolic pressure. Well, this is what happens when you start stepping in sync. You have this wonderfully better blood pressure, the heart rate improves, the breathing improves, it all gets better, not to mention the long-term consequences. We've even shown that the blood pressure stays better after the exercise ends. So we're really, really excited to continue to do these research studies. I want you to know we're really looking for people to do research with. We have an entire research app platform that we donate to universities, the software part of it, which works with the same hardware. And we're doing studies with Medtronic and others to try to show with congestive heart failure patients and in a lot of different patients that great things can happen. So that's it. Timing is everything. I think my time is clearly up. Please do stop by our booth. We're going to be showing people how to use it. If you're interested, tomorrow morning at 7, come visit with us at our booth. We'll start. And Dan, thank you again. Thanks.